welcome Sarah Stansberry to the Love You Even More podcast. Sarah is the creator and the founder of the How to Blow Up Your Life brand. It's a substack, it's a podcast. She has a book coming out soon, and we are going to talk all about how to blow up your life now, but actually how to navigate midlife and
Yeah.
perimenopause and just being done with certain things and people and places. It's just a matter of like, I'm done people pleasing. So we're going to get into all of this. If you are a woman who is like, why am I breaking off friendships or relationships or my life? Like, why am I blowing my life up? And you might want to tune in for this one. So, Sarah, welcome. So, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Jackie. Thanks for having me. It's such an honor to meet you and spend time with you and just share your platform. So I just really appreciate it.
Thank you for
Appreciate you.
being here, my fellow podcaster as well. This is always, I know I've been in your seat before where it's so odd to be interviewed when you are the host typically, and you're
Oh,
like, oh, hi. I don't know about you. I get a little like flustered, but we are here to talk about how to blow up your life. Let's actually start with that. How did that phrase become your brand?
Mm. Well, it definitely was an iterative process. It wasn't like one day I was like, oh, this is what I'm going to call it. Um, to be honest with you, I was working on my book and I was with a book editor that I had kind of hooked up with. And she and I, her name is Ariel Curry. She's wonderful. She has a great podcast of her own called Hungry Authors. And she and I were kind of talking about like, all right, what is this book going to be about? And I was kind of, we were just riffing. And she's like, so you kind of like, I don't know, blew up your life. And I was like, yeah, I did. So maybe it should be called How to Blow Up Your Life. And anyway, that was probably 5 to 7 years actually after I actually did blow up my life. Um, and that's kind of how it came about. I started writing under a brand that I developed called Unchained in the beginning of my, kind of emotional healing journey. And
Mm,
then that transformed to How to Blow Up Your Life. So now it's gotten bigger and better and more interesting and all the things.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you talk about this moment that you had, and I believe this is kind of where it sort of started for you. It's
Yeah.
called the garage door moment. I would love for you to talk about what that is and how that happens.
Yeah, I think we all have our version probably of our garage door moment, but for me, it was a moment where I was much younger than I am now. It was probably 15 years ago, and I have 3 children, and they were young. They
Mhm.
were in elementary school, so I had probably can't remember the ages, but they were very young, and it was if you are a mother and have children, especially if you have 3 children who are young like that, it's like every day is a little bit of a slog, right? Just trying
Mhm.
to do life things to
Mhm.
keep yourselves, going. And I had gotten them all out. I was so excited that the morning was going well. Everybody could find their shoes and nobody threw up and nobody, like all of the things. And I get everyone in the car and I, back out of the car, back out of the driveway or the garage. And I go hit the button to close the garage door and the garage door isn't closing and it's not closing and it's not closing. And all of a sudden, like my sense of well-being, like everything like that was going to make had made the morning okay began to like really unravel.
Yeah.
I found myself like I was cursing, I was like pounding on the I was basically having a massive adult temper tantrum like in front of my children in the car. I'm like getting out of the car, I'm cussing, I'm stomping my feet. I'm like trying to get the garage door to close from the inside. There was also a story going on for me that was like I was so angry with my husband at the time because he had told me he fixed it and he hadn't fixed it.
Mhm.
or it was, you didn't fix it to the point where it like remained fixed. And um, I was just done. You know what I mean? I was just done. And so I get back in the car and I look in the rear view mirror, and my children are like, one of them's like looking away, one of them's reading a book, like nobody's making eye contact with me. And I realized like, oh shit. Like what? Okay, wait. What have I just done here? Like I've just completely come undone
Mm-hmm.
in front of my children. Like I am their primary source of safety
Mm-hmm.
and connection to this world. And I basically have created a situation, or I've participated in this situation where they probably don't feel very safe right now,
Yeah.
you know? And then I realized the bigger thing, which is this probably isn't the first time this has happened, you know?
Yeah.
And it did not feel good. And so, as you do, I went on about my day. But I thought about that moment for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and it kept coming back. And I realized like, is this the person I want to be? Is this the woman I want to be? Is this the mother I want to be?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer, of course, was no. And then it was like, okay, so if I don't want to be this version of myself, like who do I want to be?
Mm-hmm.
And that, instigating event, as they say, um, really pulled the thread to unravel so much more that was going on underneath. I mean, so much more. But it was just that slight awareness that I wanted something to be different in
Mm-hmm.
my life that ended up, got it. I mean, it really did pull the thread on my whole life. It just unraveled everything. And, I going back to you- expectations, the relationship I had with my husband at the time, like why the anger was like just right under the surface, just waiting to explode at any minute, because I didn't realize I didn't have the tools to handle my life in a
Mm-hmm.
way that empowered me.
Yeah.
I only knew how to be a victim in other
Mm.
people's stories.
Oof.
And that is not a very empowering place to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
I, of course, went back as you're a therapist, so I did this work with my therapist, like about my family of origin stuff and where I learned these tools, and like
Mm-hmm.
how, like some like definite belief system, like
Yeah.
beliefs that I harbored from my childhood, good, bad, the ugly, all of it, things that I brought forward in my adult life that really weren't true about me. Like,
Yeah.
stories that I was telling myself, about the world, about
Mm-hmm.
everything. And so, anyway, it, I think during this time, I uncovered some childhood sexual abuse that had occurred.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, I got sober. It really,
It blew the lid off.
it blew the lid off. However, I really, it got down to the point where I was like, is this who I want to be? And is this the life I really want to live?
Yeah.
And if it's not, then who do I want to be? And what life do I want to live? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my
So
garage door moment.
I love it. That is a great garage door moment. And I absolutely know when you were like, everyone's had a garage door moment or two or three. I could immediately pinpoint one. Immediately. I was like, oh, yes, I
Yeah.
remember that. What I'm hearing when I hear that story is something that I want to think that all women are feeling, which is, especially if you're a mom,
Yeah.
is the caretaker and the
Mm,
like organizer and the like making sure everything is functioning in this family and in this life. And it's like when do I ever get to think about me? What do I need? Do I need it? What do I want? Like, how, where do I fit in all of this? And the like compiling of it until it happens to be a garage door that just won't close. And you're like, I had an okay morning. It was good. Like,
It's a
nothing
good
was
morning.
wrong. Nothing was wrong, which is interesting too, because when our bodies are finally at peace, and I'm not saying it was at peace, but like in other circumstances, when they're at peace, that's when anxiety is like, oh, can I come out now? Okay, cool. I'm going to come out and mess it up a bit because you seem ready to handle me. And you're like,
Yeah.
wait, what? I was happy. But then when I hear like, it was just this moment where it finally did click and all of these things started to unravel for you,
Yeah.
the relationships, the stories you've been telling yourself, the beliefs that you grew up with, the
Mhm.
victimhood. Oh God, thank you for saying that, because so many people, myself included, we create this like victim narrative. And
Mhm.
sometimes we are kind of victimized, right? You're like, I have a lot on my plate. Is there anything I can take off? Not really. What am I
Mhm.
supposed to do? I feel like a victim.
Oh, God, that like it brings back so much. Like it, so I did get to an inflection point in my journey where I had to make some like pretty, really tough decisions, right? Because I remember being in my therapist's office and saying, like, I don't want to do, I don't want to get into the whole long story, but, there was a thing that my then husband and I were working on that I didn't want to do anymore. And because it was creating a lot of chaos in my life. And I had realized, like, I'd started to thread out, like, what's my chaos? What are other people? What are the people around me
Yes.
bringing in to my life?
Yeah.
That I'm not going to pick up anymore. I'm not going to take that on anymore because it's not healthy for me.
Mhm.
And so I was like, I don't want to do it. And she's like, okay, so don't do it.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, but if I don't do it, then like that, I'm not a good wife if I don't do it.
Mm.
Am I a good mother if I don't do it? Am I a good daughter? Am I a good friend? Whatever. And and she was like, yeah. I'm like, well, he's going to think I abandoned him if I don't do it. And
Mm.
she was like, yep, he probably will. That was unfathomable to me. I'm like, yeah, but I can't, I can't make him feel
Yeah.
like I'm abandoning him. I don't, and she's like, well, it's not really your responsibility
I was just thinking that.
to
That's
make
not
him.
your
Of course, I
job.
know that now, but
Yeah,
back
yeah.
then I was just like,
Yeah.
it wasn't even in the my wheelhouse that could happen.
Yeah.
And and so I did. I took my hands off the things that were creating a lot of chaos in my life, and then everything did fall apart.
Mm.
And um we faced a bankruptcy and we had a business that went under, and we lost the house. I'm talking everything, like
Yeah.
everything went away.
Yeah.
And but you know what? I found myself.
Yeah.
And I really wouldn't wish what we went through on anybody because it's not good, but I don't know. It's what it took for me to choose myself.
Absolutely. And also, like, I can hear someone like listening right now and they're like, did that have to happen? Because you
Mm,
have worked through it more or something like that. And I really want to say, as a therapist, like, couples therapy, if you go, is not to keep you together. It's to figure out if you should be together. It's to
mm,
see if you need to not be together. And
yeah.
I am that therapist who's like, if this isn't working and it's held together by like Elmer's glue at this point, you
Yeah.
know, you might not fully see it, but you started to see it. And then you like let go of taking care of everybody and
Mm.
everything, and maybe even feeling like enabling it that in that way. Like,
Oh, it was so enabling. Oh,
right?
yeah. My kids, my husband, all of it. Like
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah, and just to be like, what if I just stopped and then
Hmm.
everything did like, I keep seeing it
Hmm.
as like almost like a spinning plate and like all the food just like suddenly like flies off the plate and just goes
Yes.
everywhere and you're like, oh gosh. And I'm sure there's a lot of like there was guilt that probably came from all of that, from just
Oh,
being
yeah.
like, this was my job to hold it together because I took that on from probably beliefs I grew up with of like, what is a
Hmm.
good wife, what is a good partner and a good
Hmm.
mother and all of the things. And and this really flows like into, people pleasing and
Hmm.
just you talk about being a caretaker like when I was reading your press kit and women are just natural caretakers. Even the
Yes.
most selfish of women are still natural caretakers. That we just are. We were literally designed and bred and like raised to be like that. And
Hmm.
when we say no and like stop spinning the plate, yeah, it literally gives people a chance or an opportunity to, get their own shit together and be like, what do I need? Who am
Yeah.
I? Who am I? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I love that. That's very brave. A lot of people would not have made that step to just pull back and be like, what happens? And then to watch it all really like fall
Mm.
apart, you're like, I'm gonna let it. I'm gonna let it. So, what was that like to know I'm letting this fall apart? Like, how did that feel inside?
um, so I use the analogy of it's like, okay, I'm going to go into a story here. This is all in my book too, and it's interesting. But when my daughter was in the fifth grade, she was in the Girl Scouts, and um, we went on this kind of, I don't know, like regional camping trip or something with the Girl Scouts.
Mm-hmm.
And in this little camp, there's a bunch of kids there, a bunch of parents. Um, they had a little zip line, like like it was not big. It was not
Mm-hmm.
a big zip line.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate heights and I hate edges. And
Mm-hmm.
there's no way in hell I'm going to go do that zip line, basically. Like, I was like, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But all the other girls wanted to do it. Then my daughter wanted to do it. And I guess somehow we had made some bet that like, or, agreement that if she did it, then I would do it. And I look up one day and she's doing it. And I'm like, oh crap. Like now I'm going to have to do it. So I get up there and I'm like, oh, okay, here I am. So I'm getting up there and guy straps me in and I'm in the harness or whatever. And this zip line is like nothing. It's like you see these zip lines in the trees, and that's not what this was. This was like literally like maybe 1,000 feet from there where we were to the across the lake and to the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, can you push me off? Can you do like, I'm like, there's just no way I'm going to be freaking jumping off this platform because you have to jump off the platform,
Oh gosh.
right?
Yeah,
Like you're
that's
in a harness, you're on the thing, but you have to jump off the platform.
wow.
Like nobody's going to like push you off or whatever. You have to make the decision to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And about, I don't know, 50 feet out, he was like, there was a palm tree. And he was like, do you see that palm tree right there? And I was like, yeah. He's like, it's really only scary until you get to the palm tree.
Oh my
And then the rest is fun.
God.
And I was like, okay. So I jump off the platform and it's like a free fall.
Wow.
And it is only scary until you get to the palm tree and then it's fun.
Okay.
Like once you have your footing, once you understand, like, okay, this is what it's going to feel like, this is what it's going to be like. And I would say that's how it feels. It feels like there were moments. I'll talk about two things. Inside, there were moments that I was just like, I feel like I'm in a free fall. I don't feel like I don't know what I am doing at all. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure that anything's going to catch me because it's not only that my circumstances externally were changing, all of my circumstances internally were changing. The
Mm-hmm.
beliefs that I had about myself, the way I wanted to conduct myself in the world,
Mm-hmm.
how those things went against um, my family, like culture.
Yeah.
And so all of the things that I had been taught, not all of the things, but a lot of the ways that you interact with one another, what you will accept and what you won't accept, what's okay, what's not okay, where are the boundaries? How am I going to say that I don't really want to have my children in matching Easter outfits this year? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
all of it. I was changing the rules for myself, and
Mm-hmm.
it felt like a free fall.
Yeah.
Um, and I will say one of the ways, and this is why I do the work that I do. One of the ways that I kept sane in this, or just found myself a little bit, was I had really just a very, very small group of women around me that were a little bit ahead of me.
Mm.
Um, in kind of like codependency recovery,
Yeah.
addiction recovery. And we were kind of working through some things together as a small group. And I feel like I had a person that I could call
Mm-hmm.
um, when I was feeling really destabilized. And that person would be like, I would just call her for just the dumbest thing. I was a baby, a little baby adult. Like I really had no skills. And I can just remember, we'd had something with my ex, and there was an issue with him coming home on time or coming home to do what he said he was going to do. And so, it I was wanted to go to Target. This is so dumb. I wanted to go to Target. Like, hey, can you be home at 6? Because I need to go to Target real quick and I don't want to take the kids with me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no problem. So, it's like 5:30. It's like, oh, I have this other thing at work. Can we just do the Target thing tomorrow? Because I really need to stay at work and do da da da. And, every once in a while, that's fine. But that was how we operated. It
Yeah.
wasn't, my needs were never really acknowledged as important. And so, I'd have to call her. He just said this. Is it okay for me to say no? Is
Mm.
that okay? And she was like, yes, that's okay to say no. Like, say, no, you need to do what you said you were going to do. I need you home
Yeah.
because we agreed that you were going to be home.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt like when I got through everything, I felt like if I hadn't had that one person just kind of showing me the way a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would have been able to do it.
Totally.
And so, like, everything I pour myself into, my writing, my podcast, the books, whatever, my coaching,
Mm-hmm.
it's, to not that I can't be on call for my clients or whatever, like my friend was,
Yeah.
but I just needed that one person to be like, yes, it is okay for you to have needs
Yeah.
and to expect the people around you to do what they say they're going to do.
Right.
That's okay.
Uh, that is such a great example because like I just yeah, when we don't have stronger boundaries or stronger sense of self of like I need this because you said you would do it and I'm here waiting to follow through with that agreement and now you're changing it and I'm just going along with it, over and over and over again. Like that pattern is
Mhm.
so real and that's such a not normal. That's a very common pattern. And I'm so glad that you had someone to talk to because it's true. Like you're making these big steps,
Mhm.
but you've never made them before. And sometimes you just need a
Mhm.
cheerleader to be like, it's okay. And so you had someone who was a little further ahead. I loved how you put that because it's someone to look up to and someone
Mhm.
to get like permission from. It just
Yes.
sounds like we just need permission because we don't know. We're baby
W-
humans.
Well, yeah, until I could get my footing because it really did feel like I was in a free fall. Everything was changing on the inside and the outside.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Let's actually
and
talk about that really quick. So I don't know what age that was for you, but for any women who might be feeling
Mhm.
like this and they are somewhere in their late 30s into their 40s and up, they're probably in perimenopause.
I
Just
was in my 40s,
yep, there
probably
we
in
go.
perimenopause.
Oh yes. It
And
is.
mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, it's just this insane time where you're having like a second adolescence and your
Yes.
hormones are like just kind of deciding to do whatever they want every day.
Hmm.
Like you just never know what day it's gonna hold. And then
Yes.
and then I keep and it's just like these moments, these moments of like reckoning start happening and you're like, why am I so angry? Am I just older and I'm like, fuck this? Like, why am I so ragey? And like I think it's both. I think our hormones are off, so
Hmm.
they help us to actually get in touch with that anger
Hmm.
and that, like, I'm done. But also, I think we also get to a stage in our lives where you're also just done. Like,
Yeah.
it's been going on for so long. Like, is this forever? Because it better not be. And now
Yeah.
I don't have the bandwidth to even do it. So, yeah,
And it really could be. That's such a great point, right? That
two things can be true.
both things can be true for sure. And so this happened to me right around my 40s, probably a little bit before my 40s, late 30s. And I'm 55 now. So, it's definitely, let's say at the moment I was having my garage door moment, I was probably 36,
Mhm.
37. And I have to tell you, 15, 17 years ago, the discussion about perimenopause was not happening.
Oh, oh my God. No, I feel like it's just
No.
now happening.
Yes, it was not happening. And I will tell you, I'm like fully through menopause.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been on HRT, hormone replacement therapy. I think they call it I don't know what they call it now. I don't know what they call it,
Nope.
menopause replacement or something. But
It's still
anyway,
HRT.
okay. And so and I had an event happen. I took a medication and it basically I wasn't absorbing any of my hormones. And I am in the process of resetting myself right now.
Uh,
And I just, it's been crazy town over here, like crazy town. So, yes, when you are in perimenopause, and I think if you follow Dr. Mary Claire Haver, she's
love
such
her.
she's just, the work that she does is so important. She
Hmm.
was explaining that it's not like you're up a little bit and then you're down a little bit. When you're in perimenopause, it's like a ball of of patterns, like of your hormones. It's not like they're not predictable.
Yeah.
You could be up and then crash down and then up and then crash down. And that really does mess you up. It
Hmm.
really does
Hmm.
um do some damage to your internal systems. But like you said, it also is, so it decreases your bandwidth of what you'll tolerate and what you
Hmm.
won't tolerate because you realize, like, I can only do so much, right? So kind of kicks you into this place of, you know, maybe it's time to change.
Which is gorgeous. Like, I actually, as hard as this time is, at least I'm in it right now. Um, and I really do have to say, like, at least I've been on birth control forever. That
Yeah,
really helped, but I did
that
go
does
off
help.
of it. I went
Hmm.
off of it because all my friends were like, it's bad for you. I'm like, I don't know. I've been on it for 100 years. It seems to be
Yeah.
okay. But let me go off it just to see what I'd be like. What a horrible idea. I found out what I'd be like, and it was bad. It's really bad. I got a good glimpse of like what I'm like if I'm not medicated, essentially. And I was like,
Oh
oh
my.
my God, what's happening? It was awful. So I went back on it. But even on birth control, and like, I'm obviously like working with like doctors and like hormones and all of that.
Mhm.
Even with it, it's still like, like this has happened the last 2 nights. I have no idea. I just like get into bed and everything is fine. And then I start talking to Claude. And then somehow I'm crying about my dead cat who died like 8 years ago. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm just like, what's happening to me? So, yeah, it is a roller coaster. And you're just like, why? Why now? It
Mm,
is truly a second adolescence. I feel like I'm a teenager all over again, and I'm not as bad as I could
yeah.
be, clearly. But it's terrifying, and at the same time, it's also just so liberating to be like, I'm gonna just do what I want to do. Life is short. Like,
Mhm.
I'm watching my body literally change and age overnight. It's terrifying. I'm like, whoa, what's important? Like, what's actually important and what is not important, and who needs to be here and who is definitely not supposed to be here.
Mhm.
Like, no more, no more drama. Literally. Like, anyone who has a whiff of chaos about them, I'm like, bye bye. Nope, no, no. You go over there, you stay away from me.
You get to enjoy your space in my outer circle.
Yeah. Many orbits away, once a year, maybe.
Yeah.
But
So you're going to be out here.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it's just this. I think it's a really liberating time. I think it's a great time for women to finally be like, what do
Yes.
I need? What do
Yes.
I want? And to blow up their lives if they need to. You know, it's truly a
Yeah.
priority of like, where are my priorities? And also, when your body is reacting in this crazy way, you have no other choice but to figure out what's going on with you. Like, you can't
Yes.
just put it aside and be like, I'll get to that.
Hmm.
It's literally inside, like, it's in your face. It's hard.
Yeah.
So, all those other people who are just not like up to snuff, I'm like, well, that's your problem now. I'm just kidding.
Well,
Not
well,
completely.
and I think that I do really believe that everyone is, I mean, everybody's in your life for a reason, right?
Mhm.
And everybody's a teacher. And so, some of the lessons are harder than others. But if it weren't for those situations in my life, I can guarantee you I wouldn't be who I am right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I think, I hope we get to a place. I see kind of the world changing, very hopeful that um, women can really look at themselves and say, like, I'm important, like
Mm-hmm.
my needs, my desires, my goals, myself,
Yeah.
um, those things are all important. And it's okay to put those first.
I think, and listen, I don't hate men. We know this on this podcast, but I
I
do,
love men.
I love
I
men
do.
too. Not
Hmm.
all of them, but a lot of them.
Well,
But I do think there's something really powerful about decentering men from our lives. Like
mm-hmm.
the way, this is like a whole other episode, but the way that we like grew up sort of centering around men and like
Hmm.
being and looking and appeasing to men, when you hit this stage, when it starts just like it has to be about you, when you decenter them and you're just like, what do I want to wear? What do I want to look like? How do I want to
Mm-hmm.
feel? It's so beautiful. And then you can become a better version of yourself, a really authentic version of yourself. And then you can, which again, you should just come back on. We have so much more to talk
I would
about.
love
There's
that.
so
I
much
would love
more.
it.
But you found your second husband, and I actually want to hear all
Mhm.
about that in another
Yeah.
episode
Okay.
because I think the way that it happened, and also I don't know exactly how it happened, but it did happen later. I would imagine you were like a much more authentic version of yourself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I will tell you, I was in a couple of groups and things, and when you are getting divorced, um, when you're in your midlife or whatever,
Yeah.
like the people who are happily married just kind of remove themselves from you. And then the people who are also getting divorced kind of insert themselves into your life a little bit. So
Yeah.
it's a little, so I was around a lot of women, I guess, who were getting divorced, thinking about getting divorced, that kind of a thing.
Mm.
And I looked around and I saw like a majority of the women were jumping right back into other relationships.
Mm, interesting.
Like, like I would say 90%
As if that'll
were
solve
like
it.
looking, 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 looking. And, I took my time in making the decision of divorce. And it wasn't anything I did haphazardly or whatever. I mean, I took years,
Yeah.
time, years. And I thought I got to a pivotal point. You know, you have all these aha moments. Like I got to a pivotal point during that season where we had committed to doing some marriage intensives, like some intensive therapy.
Mm.
And I realized like, okay, I'm going to kind of detach myself from him, kind of like you were talking, decentralize him
Mhm.
from my life.
Mhm.
And I'm going to enter into this season of therapy. Um, and I'm going to come out the best version of myself that I can be right now.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take that woman and she's going to either enter back into this relationship or she's going to exit out of this relationship.
Yeah.
And that was really one of the most powerful things I think that I ever did. And I wasn't looking to jump into something else. I wasn't looking into jump into something that was, until I was really a whole and complete person, because I just felt like I had already been in this relationship where we were like two halves of a person, like trying to make a whole person.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like what works is bringing two full people together,
Mhm.
um, into a relationship. So,
Totally.
you know, it was really probably one of the most important things, that I ever did for myself
Yeah.
in that. And it's so funny. My mom even thought like at one point, when I started dating my husband now, like it was a brand new thing. And it's a lot. Well, we can talk about it later, but I called her because I needed to tell her that he was going to be around, and I didn't want her to, because she didn't know I had met anybody.
Uh,
And so I was like, hey, I left her a message. I need to talk to you. Like, I don't want to leave it on voicemail. Just call me when you can or something like that.
yeah.
And she was like, she's going to tell me she's gay. Like everyone around me thought maybe I was gay because I just wasn't dating anyone. You know what I mean? Or I
I've
wasn't like,
literally thought that myself. I've
so
literally
funny.
thought that. Go on.
Yeah. So she was like, I swear to God, I thought you were about to tell me you're gay. When I finally told her what it was. She was like,
Oh,
oh, I really thought that's what you're going to tell me. I was like, nope, not.
that's so cute. No, I live in West Hollywood. I literally live where Pride starts. And
Yes.
I've often thought, like, I wonder if people think I'm just like gay and I'm just in the
Yeah.
closet, which would be so funny to me, especially since I live here.
Yeah.
But okay, you need to come on for a part two of just relationships. We can
It's a
talk
good one.
all
It's a
about
good
that.
story. My
Yes.
love story with my current husband, Walter, it's a good one.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. It gives
Yeah.
us
It's a
those.
good one.
Sarah, you're so awesome. I feel like we could talk for a really long time, which we will.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
But thank you so much for coming on. Your info will be in the show notes, but tell people how they can find you.
Oh yeah. So I think I mentioned I have a Substack. You can find me on Substack. It's sarahstansberry.substack.com. And then also my website, sarahstansberry.com, and all of my social handles are Sarah Stansberry. So if you get my name right, you can find me pretty much anywhere. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So much good wisdom here. I feel like someone listening would just feel like very seen today. And
Mm,
hopefully if they're in that spot of kind of like, whoa, what's going on? Am I feeling like I'm ready to like, blow up my life? They got some permission from you to help
oh,
lead the way.
very good. Well, Jackie, you are a delight. So thank you. Thanks so much for having me on.